Leading sports tonight, Suva has successfully defended the Fairbrother Sullivan Trophy, shutting out Neta Siri in Lautoka yesterday. The Fiji beat Suva narrowly won 14-12, with the game a clinching penalty coming after the full-time hooter. Two Neta Siri players were yellow-carded in the game. Lautoka is the last challenger next weekend. The court's Inter-District Championship torch relay began this morning from Samambola and starting the journey to Govind Park in Ba. The Suva soccer team started the relay as Captain Emori Rangata signalled his team's intention of taking the top prize. The torch was handed over to the Fiji football entourage heading to Navua. It will be greeted by teams in their respective towns before reaching Ba in the evening. The court's IDC starts next Wednesday. Tough decisions will be made by Fiji football in their annual congress. This includes decreasing the number of teams in the Super Premier Division to improve crowd numbers. The annual congress is a prelude to the court's Inter-District Championship.
Fiji FA is considering decreasing the number of teams in the Super Premier Division to just 8. Fiji FA says league matches are no longer attracting the crowd of yesteryears.
As the league prolongs to about 6-7 months, and towards the end the interest is not there and people are just playing for the sake of playing, and this in return costs the district association a huge sum of money with there no returns. The sponsors are not getting their mileage.
The reduction in the number of teams means direct relegation for the bottom place team.
There is a proposal on the motion that we're going to be discussed, that there should be automatic promotion relegation.
Meanwhile, the build-up to the IDC is looking good.
Administratively, we are quite happy that the preparation process is well under control, and the districts are taking it seriously as well. Despite the adverse weather conditions, the districts are preparing well.
A little more than 3 days remain to the start of Fiji's football fiesta and off-the-field dramas associated with soccer in Fiji. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Tailevu Neta Siri won the first round of the Premier Division playoffs, beating Taviuni by a goal to nil. With a one-game advantage, Tailevu Neta Siri will play the return tomorrow at Govind Park. Meanwhile, in the Under-21 division, Rewa beat Lambasa 4-1. Suva's got the ball rolling at the FBC volleyball competition. They intend to use the weekly club games as a build-up to the national championships. As Shelvin Chand reports, the women's competition started today.
The weather did little to deter these volleyball enthusiasts from the weekly competition at Laudala. Organizers simply moved the competition to the netball center for better turf conditions.
We started today with the women's competition with 3 women's teams. We still have doors open for other interested teams to be part of Suva FBC Suva this season.
Competition was intense since prizes are at stake every week. The organizers know that teams will only get better.
The winner today will walk away with $200. And for the women's category, the winner for their knockout that just started today will walk away with $300. That is just an incentive for clubs.
Suva has taken the idiom "practice makes perfect" very seriously as they aim to retain the national titles.
The beginning of our defense of the national titles, we'll have weekly competitions, and we'll see to that they get ready. The 4 stations and FBC TV in the women's category get ready when national comes.
The weekly competitions will continue until next year, and according to Suva Volleyball, it's only going to get bigger and better. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Traditional canoeing, or the Veitawanga, was on today at the Suva foreshore. The traditional sport has grown since its rebirth 2 years ago, and Akasita Tale found out it's a sport for all ages.
10 canoes set sail in almost perfect sailing conditions, and it's not just the number of canoes that has doubled. Young kids are taking to traditional sailing as if they're playing rugby.
It's a great sporting event because it puts the skills of one sailor versus another, you know, with the force of nature and the winds all together and the waves. And, you know, the man, the sailboat, and maybe even we get a women's event next year. But the point is that it's a really good sporting event that tests the skills and the strength and the knowledge of sailing of the participants.
Old hands and young sailors took to the water with much gusto, reviving traditions from hundreds of years ago.
Traditional sailing canoe races, the Damakau races, is a tradition that the Fijian ancestors did, you know, for many, many centuries. So even in the outer islands, they still have kept the races alive. So the elders that are here as the judges, they're the ones that establish the race rules. Those race rules were established based on long-term Fiji cultural tradition.
With success in Fiji, there is talk of a regional race featuring traditional canoes and sailing techniques used by our Pacific neighbors. Akusita Tale, FBC Sports.
Health workers in the Central Division were out today advocating against non-communicable diseases. But this time they led by example, taking part in Sports Day at the Suva Grammar Ground.
Sport isn't just a good pastime, it has huge health benefits. And our health facilitators took to the greens and the courts today to prove that physical activity can reduce NCDs.
With fitness, proper fitness, you keep yourself away from various kinds of non-communicable diseases because your health is important. So the main aim is to bring fitness amongst the Ministry of Health staff and the various divisions of Ministry of Health.
It's not just about promoting healthy living. Apparently, some medical workers could do with a bit of exercise.
To showcase that we need to walk the talk. Although we preach about NCD, one of the important factor that's important for all Fijians to know that exercise is very crucial for trying to combat NCD.
These would-be athletes are hoping others will take note and take up the fight against NCDs through sports. Akusita Tale, FBC Sports.
It was rain all across the country today as a frontal system remained slow-moving just to the south of Fiji. The temperatures were similar, right around with 27 degrees in most places. Suva and Savu were 25. The rain is expected to ease from tomorrow with fine weather in the morning and evening showers around Viti Levu. There will be morning showers in the Northern Division. The further outlook is for east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southwest swells.